Imagine hiking above oceans, flying above islands, then watching Broadway shows and picnicking in Central Park. Well, this can all be done on our perfect date. Today we are going to tell you about the environment and place of our perfect date, as well as some activities and the budget that we would need. We will also talk about how Hiroko and Gura's decision-making process and how we came to our idea of the perfect date. Now let's look at the environment and place of our date. Like I said, we are going to be traveling from the beautiful shores and skies of Hawaii to the uncomparable New York City. Our date will span over 3 days. On the first day, our environment is going to be in an urban neighborhood filled with lots of hiking, swimming, a helicopter ride, and then at the end of the day, a very high-end private jet ride to take us to New York City. Now, this environment has a little bit of an effect on our date. It shows that we can be down for spontaneity and are okay with getting dirty and living a very active lifestyle. This promotes that active and adventurous lifestyle with our partner, which shows that we are really down to do anything and want to live an exciting life. On the second day, our environment changes dramatically from the small island of Hawaii to the beautiful big city of the Big Apple, New York. So we're going to be traveling to a very urban populated city, and we'll be doing some indoor and outdoor activities, as well as having a very high-end hotel room at the end. This also has some effect on our date because it shows that we can be very adaptable to different environments and are definitely down for something new. It also shows that we're not afraid to be around a lot of people or be by ourselves. The environment changes help us to move from hustle and bustle to elegant romantic evening, and it really shows that we are just down to have a good time and are not afraid of a different environment change or being in a new place. On the third day, we are going to be going still in New York, and we're going to be traveling through the city up to the Empire State Building and Central Park at the museum. Again, we'll be in a very popular city with both indoor and outdoor activities, as well as a cruise ship, so we will have a new environment of the water, just like our home of Hawaii. And then we will finish with an elegant evening, like I said, on the Empire State Building. So this environment also shows that we are very adaptable because we are moving from elegant museums to cruise ships to a very, very famous skyscraper. We're okay with putting ourselves in a new environment, and it really shows that we are really down to get to know this person and see what kind of things they like to do on a date and if they can handle this very active lifestyle as well. Now that I told you about the environment, Erica will tell you about the specific activities that will be done on our date.
Include indoor and outdoor activities as well as great food and relaxation. It all starts at the Lanikai Pillbox height where we will see the sun rise and also then eat famous pancakes at Cinnamon's restaurant. After breakfast, we'll relax and have some lazy time at Lanikai Beach and then head for a round-trip helicopter tour that goes from Oahu to Lanai. After spending so much time in the sun and in the sky, we'll head towards Giovanni's Shrimp Truck for their famous shrimp plates. Next, we'll bring our snorkeling gear to Sharks Cove to witness some beautiful ocean life. And then, after getting our appetites back, we'll go on a sunset cruise to have dinner with a private sushi chef. After the sunset and dinner, we'll go for a hike at Tantalus Treehouse, and at the end of the day, we'll hop onto a private jet for some late night snacks, champagne, goose feather beds, and a good night's sleep. On day 2, we will start in New York City after our 11-hour flight, and we'll start by checking into the Ritz-Carlton's Royal Suite and then head down for a late breakfast at Loeb Boathouse Restaurant, which is located in Central Park. After we'll already being in the park, we will go for a stroll in Central Park as well as a horse carriage ride to be in the beautiful fall/winter New York City weather. After a couple hours in the park, we'll head back to the Ritz-Carlton to have afternoon tea in their Star Lounge restaurant and then go back to our room for an in-room couples massage for an hour and a half. With plenty of time to relax, shower, and get glamorous, we'll get ready for an evening of Broadway with champagne ordered to the room. Then, after watching American in Paris, which is a very popular and romantic show on Broadway right now, we'll head down to Gramercy Tavern for a luxurious post-show dinner. On the last day of the date, we'll start with room service and breakfast in bed. We'll then visit the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And then after picking up lunch at the museum's restaurant, we'll have a picnic in Central Park. Around this time of year, the sun will start setting at around 4 o'clock p.m., so we'll go for a 90-minute Manhattan Harbor cruise to see the sunset. After dinner at the River Cafe, which is located right off of the Brooklyn Bridge, we'll stroll through Bryant Park and also go ice skating there. And then if we're not too tired, we'll go dancing at Daisy's Club to listen to some jazz and get up onto our feet, I should say. Then by the end of the day, we'll finish our trip at the Empire State Building. This will be around midnight, so this will conclude our 72-hour perfect date.
We decided that we would choose all of the best luxuries offered for each and every detail and activity on our itinerary, right down to purchasing a Boeing business jet just for this date. Finding a budget was a little bit difficult. We accomplished this by browsing company websites, reading customer reviews, calling customer service representatives, finding average prices and recommended choices, and then calculating government and state taxes, fees, and tips for each thing. So, how much does it cost to take us out on our perfect date? $150,301,971.77, with day one being the most expensive, mostly because of our Boeing business jet, which cost us $150 million, and then inconveniencing thousands of people at 2 different airports for $250,000. Food and drinks from Cinnamons and Giovanni's, and then having a private sushi chef on board of our sunset cruise cost us $616.95. Activities, including hiking and then snorkels from Target and our sunset cruise, plus a helicopter tour, $6,399.54. Day 2 included our hotel and our transportation, with the hotel with our royal suite in the Ritz-Carlton, Central Park, New York, costing us $15,000 a night. Transportation, including our private chauffeur for 2 days, our limousine with a full bar and a coffee machine inside, costing us $4,840.81. Then our food and drinks cost us $2,795.77, including lots of champagne. Activities with ice skating and having a private massage came out to $1,761.62. Then our final day was a tiny little $1,000 because our hotel and our transportation was already taken care of in day 2. We only had to pay for our food, drinks, and activities. Food and drinks with like a 6-course tasting menu, lots of drinks, dancing at a jazz club with drinks came out to $730.71, and our activities, including a private viewing from the Empire State Building, came out to $377.37. So I know it sounds a little bit expensive, but I mean, we're worth it. And we have an unlimited budget, so we might as well go all the way, right? All right, on to Jay with our decision-making process.
Outlined by Hirakawa and Garan. According to Randy Hirakawa, Dennis Garan, and several other group communication scholars, group decision-making usually follows a predictable pattern. Group decision-making includes the following steps. Step 1. Analyze the decision to be made. To effectively do this, our group analyzed the project, broke it down into parts in an outline. After this, each group member signed up for their parts that they would be responsible for. Step 2. Involve all members seeking information. All members were tasked with brainstorming our own individual ideas of a perfect date. Step 3. Identify and clarify the goals of the decision. One of the first parts of the assignment that we were identifying and clarifying was if this was to be a first date or not. Certainly, the decisions you would make concerning location and activities would be very different on a first date than they would be on subsequent dates. Our group quickly agreed that the project specifications did not limit us to planning a first date. So the sky was the limit from there on. Step 4. Group members identify multiple options. One of the first discussions we had was the option of place. The first option that was presented was Disneyland. And after this, our group had a discussion whether Disneyland would be the ideal destination for all age groups and all genders. Step 5. Rationally evaluate the positive and negative consequences of alternatives. This step was fulfilled in discussions to come to the conclusion and make decisions on place and activities. After analyzing the data and options, the group makes a decision. This is step 6 in Hirakawa and Goran's process. In order for us to do this, the group had conversations about the different date destinations and activities. We were able to do this through email. One of our group members was traveling in New York City during the project and was very effective in persuading us that New York City would be the ideal place for a dream date. This helped to draw us to the conclusion of place, and when we were discussing activities were presented and we all gave our input on those activities that would best suit a dream date. And this is how we utilized Hirakawa and Goran's decision-making process in order to fulfill our project.